Mahomes the next Sunday?
Yeah, a lot of mentors that I've had. Starting with my dad, who was one of my coaches, my brothers. My mom wasn't one of my coaches, but definitely one of my mentors. And then, Larry Karras, Frank Reich, big mentors for me as far as the coaching profession goes.
Right side standing up on the outside.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't answer your second part. We'll have to be to stop Patrick Mahomes. We'll have to be on our game. We'll have to tackle well. We'll have to get off blocks well. We'll have to rush well. Have to be on the same page. He obviously presents a lot of challenges. Is a phenomenal football player and presents a lot of challenges. So we'll have to be at the top of our game.
Right side, outside.
Ernesto Del Valle from Fox Sports Mexico. The Eagles have a lot of fans in Mexico, and they support a lot you, support Chocon Barkley, Hurts, all the players. Can you give a message for all the people in Mexico that really support you and they're done of the Chiefs that they're going to win again?
Well, thank you for all the support there. That means a lot to us. I know when I was on in media night, somebody gave me, I think from Mexico, gave me a bunch of letters. I haven't looked through them all yet, but we appreciate the support, and thank you to Mexico.
We're going to go left side here, outside. Tim?
Hey, Tim.
And going back to the idea that a lot of players have used the Super Bowl loss as motivation, what's your messaging been this week to, so players can use it, but also are staying within themselves and aren't chasing the past?
Yeah, that obviously that makes for a good story. All that, but that's a different team, different time. I think one thing we talk a lot about is embracing adversity and how adversity shapes you into the person that you are. So all our setbacks, including the 2022 end of the season, there we use to help shape us who we are. It's about embracing adversity and growing from all your, not only the good things that happen, but then also the bad things that happen. Because again, like I said, that just shapes the person, the player, the coach you are.
Right side of the aisle here, second row.
Nick, you started off your head coaching career calling plays in 2021. You haven't since then. What about being a head coach is important outside of calling plays, which has allowed you to have success going to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years, being able to oversee the operation and put an emphasis on building a culture?
Yeah, there's a lot obviously to do during a game as far as managing a football game, and all the things that go into that, with decisions that go into that, and 2-minute football, 4-minute football, 4th down decisions, everything that it goes there, and so on game day, that's what I'm focused on. As far as during the week and things like that, still go to a lot of different meetings and talk through a lot of the game planning with the offense. But as far as sorry, a little distracted back here. But as far as it's about setting the culture. It's about being able to go to different things, being able, if a player needs you, to be able to step out of a meeting to be able to meet with that player. There are a lot of different things that go into it. Calling plays is one portion of it that some coaches do and some coaches don't. That's just the mode that I have.
Back, left-hand side, back.
Hi, Coach. Will you tell me a little bit about the importance of reacquiring C.J. Gardner-Johnson as part of your secondary, especially in light of his 6 interceptions this season?
Yeah, obviously he brings great. The play on the field speaks for itself. He does a phenomenal job. I think he's one of our great tacklers that we have. We got a lot of good tacklers, and he does a great job of setting the tone with how he tackles. Obviously, he gets the ball away he has a special ability to take the football away. I think about the Dallas game, the second time we played Dallas at home this year, and the interception that he makes to put us up 7-0 early on in the game. So he has a special ability there. But what I love about him is his energy, his love for football, his love for his teammates. He's got unlimited amount of energy, and that's contagious. You get around him and you can't have a bad day. He's going to make sure that you're up and ready to go for practice. Through the different ways that he does it. Love having him back on this football team. He's been a major part of our success and why we're here right now.
Front row right, the green shirt.
Hey, Coach, you've had the privilege of working with a lot of great athletes over your career. You mentioned yesterday being emotional on the sidelines, excited a lot, and it reminds me a lot of someone you had the pleasure of working with, Phillip Rivers. Can you talk a lot about maybe the bond you've had with him, your evolution as a coach alongside him, both with Indianapolis and the Chargers, and just overall what he's meant to you as a person on and off the field?
Yeah, he obviously I was with him at 2 stints for 5 years with the Chargers and then 1 year with the Colts. So I've been with, I was with Phillip for 6 years. Man, did he make me a better coach. Why do I say that? When I was his position coach, I had to dig and claw and scratch just to find one nugget to give him a week that he hadn't seen, right? Or that, because he has seen everything, he's been through everything. And so it just made you just make sure you had to be on everything because he had seen it already. And then what nugget could you get him to help him during the week there? And so it really made me even better of a coach just because of the detail that I had to have coaching him. His passion for the game of football and his teammates, same thing. Again, was incredible. Man, he was an incredible player. Still get a chance to talk to him a couple times every other month or so, and he meant a lot to me as a coach. The good player. I think Vic said it the other day. I don't know how exactly he said it, but good players keep you employed in this league. The secret to being a good coach is having good players. So I was really grateful for the time. I've been very fortunate to be around very good quarterbacks. Jalen, Phillip, Andrew Luck, Matt Castle was a great experience I had with him. Jacoby Brissett, same thing. So, but have an opportunity to been around a lot of good quarterbacks and learn how they think and everything like that. So he was awesome and meant a lot to me as I got to coach him.
All right, left side here, third row.
How you doing, Coach? Dr. Bruce Grosinger, Eagles season ticket holder, 40 years. I was sports guy.
There you go.
Got to marvel at your medical staff. I'm talking about Brandon Graham. The fact that he tore his triceps, had surgery, and he's prepared to play in the big game is stunning to me. I guess a two-part question. One is he going to be wearing that Rob Gronkowski brace on his forearm? And B, I want you to tell us, close your eyes and tell us, what would it be like for Brandon to get a strip sack and hoist the Lombardi Trophy?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where he is by with the end of the week. I know the Philly media is looking at me like, you better answer that the same way you answer all injury questions throughout the year. But we'll see where he is by the end of the week. If he's able to be out there with us, it'd mean a lot to this football team. Just his leadership, obviously his ability and his play. And the things that he can do, but it'd mean a lot for us out there to be able to make. If he's out there, I know he'll make plays that help us win or the football game.
All right, right side, front.
Good morning, Coach. Speaking of Vic Fangio, he comes in here with a lot of new guys. He had been here as a consultant, and now he's obviously the DC. What have you learned about him and his sort of wizardry over the years and abilities to turn defenses around in such short order?
Yeah, he's got great experience. When you talk about coaches, sometimes you're like, he's been a good coach for years. He's been a good coach for decades, which is impressive. He's had an unbelievable career and done so many good things, and just so grateful that he's on this staff. I think that he has a standard of how it's supposed to look and holds the guys to that standard. And he's not afraid to tell you what he thinks of if you don't meet the standard, and praise you if you do meet the standard. So, and I think the guys, there was a clip I saw of the guys kind of imitating him. I think imitation is a form of flattery, and so the guys like him. The guys like the fact that he can make them a better football player and help them reach their goals as players. So, he's been awesome, like just the way he's connected with the guys in that matter. You can see it in that matter. And then just the the way he's called the defense, and he's great on game day, brings so much experience, helps me on some other things too. With some things, if I have a question, it's nice to have a former head coach there on staff with me, and so he's meant a lot to this team, and he's been awesome this year.
All right, left side, aisle.
Hey, Coach. The Eagles are the first team since the 92-93 Dallas Cowboys to enter this game with the top-ranked defense and a rushing game to post over 2,000 yards. Is there any added pressure with such an elite defense and a strong rushing attack to win this game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're going to do everything we can possibly do to put ourselves in position this week to win the game. That means the way we prep, the way we prepare. There's always pressure in this game. Like, have you been to Philly? I tell the story sometimes about one of my first games there as the head coach, and we're in a preseason game, and it was a preseason game, and they were booing at halftime, and I kind of remember getting in the car. So my wife adapted very quickly to Philly because I got in the car, and I've told this story before. So us coaches only have so many stories, and we recycle them and tell them over and over again. But I got in the car, and I'm like, could you believe that they were booing us at halftime of a second preseason game? It was against the Patriots. And she said, well, what'd you give them to cheer about? And I was like, that was fair. And so, there's pressure in all professional sports. We're used to that. We're built for it. And so what we need to do is control the things like we can't control with the outside noise or anything like that. And all we can control is our habits. And that's what we'll try to do this week to try to put ourselves in position to succeed this weekend.
Right side, middle, third row.
Hey, Coach. Can you remember the exact moment when you knew you'd officially got Saquon Barkley? And obviously you would have watched his film as a player. Were you aware of what you were getting in terms of a teammate and a leader?
Yeah, I think that's the thing that's not it's very obvious when you watch the tape how good of a player he is, right? But the things that he has, that he brings to our football team as far as his leadership, his work ethic, he's an awesome teammate. Those are the things that make him very special. And that's pretty special that I'm saying that even more after you see him jumping over guys backwards and all that stuff. Seeing him on tape, seeing him in person, having to play against him 2 times a year in division. A lot of times at the beginning of the year, I was like, man, this is exactly what I saw on tape when we were like, hey, here's how you got to try to tackle this guy. Because I remember just how many times he was on the Wednesday morning, hey, get ready for the opponent tape. Like, hey, you got to make sure you close the space. You got all the things that we talk about with tackling was really emphasized with him, and it's awesome. He's an awesome teammate, awesome person. I can't say enough good things. I could spend the rest of this press conference talking about what Saquon's meant to this football team, and not even talk about anything on the field.
Left side, third row over here.
Hi, Coach. I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about Jordan Davis's impact this season, both his impact and his growth.
Yeah, he continues to get better. He's been in great shape all season, and I think that's why you see him continuing to get better. I feel like every time you guys ask me about somebody, I kind of start talking about how good of a teammate he is. This guy is infectious around the team, and what he brings, and he's one of the. Someone asked me the other day, "Who's the funniest person on your team?" Like Slay, right? And I'm like, yeah, Slay's up there, but Jordan Davis is pretty funny, and he just brings so much to the team as far as his personality, his play out there. He's massive. It's hard to move him, and had a big sack last game that we played, and so he just continues to get better, and he's been very important to this defense.
All right, we've got time for a couple more back right. Stacy.
Yeah, hey Nick, Stacey Fields, NFL Network. Let's go back to Saquon. What's it like for you to witness and coach a running back, obviously having a historic season, who's exponentially getting better and better and is more stronger, faster right now than at any point in the season as you head into a game like this?
Yeah, I think that when we talk about the game of football, you can't be great without the greatness of others. So you're seeing Saquon, be able to completely shine with the offensive line that's blocking for him, and Jalen, the things that he does, but with holding the backside as far as his ability to run. And so you're seeing, he's around all these great players and a great offensive line, and you're seeing him just shine big time. And then as far as what you asked about with him being in great, he's got himself in great shape, and works so hard at his body, and it's a tribute to our trainers, our strength staff, our doctors, our nutritionists, of keeping him where he needs to be there and maintaining where he needs to be. And so we manage that throughout. I think there was a lot of, I don't hear the questions anymore that I got early in the year of like, can Saquon take this many carries all game? What if he does this? What if this happens? What if that happens? And my response to that always, Stacy, was, well, what we're going to do is we're going to try to win every single game. No matter how we need to win the game, we'll try to do that. And this year it's been a lot of carries for Saquon. And then you manage that in between games, right? So maybe he has a Wednesday that's not quite as, not quite as rigorous for him, or Thursday or Friday, and you manage it there. And so just again, great efforts, obviously first and foremost by Saquon himself to have his body, firing like it is right now, and then also all the people that go involved in it. Again, this game's awesome, and you can't be great without the greatness of others, and that speaks in every aspect of the organization. And that's how we think, and that's why I think you see our football team. When you talk to our football team, hopefully you guys are seeing this, because I see it very clearly. They're just talking about how much they mean to each other. Everybody means to each other, and I think that's the secret to good teams, is they don't want to let each other down.
All right, last one here is Zach on the left.
As a follow-up to that, Nick, the phrase "can't be great without the greatness of others," you said it to us just about every day, but you didn't start saying it until late September. Is there a story or a background behind that phrase, and how have you seen it resonate with the guys?
I mean, I think at the end of the day, it's just the truths of football. Truths of football. We talk about tough, detailed together an awful lot. And if I said to just a group of people that didn't even know anything about football, hey, the toughest team's going to win. Well, yeah. Hey, the most detailed team making the fewest mistakes is going to win. Yeah, okay, makes sense. Hey, the most together team in this awesome team sport is gonna have the best chance to win. And those are all the truths of football. So it's just, at this point of the year, I don't have any new coaching points for them, right? It's not like I saved something for this moment. Like, we just keep going back to the truths of football. And one of the major truths of football is I can't be great without the greatness of others. That applies so much in this game. It's the best team sport there is. There's no other team sport like it. And you need the success and everyone doing their job. As Jalen says, everyone checking their box if you're going to be successful as a football team. It can't be one guy does it, another guy doesn't do it. That doesn't work. It's 11 people working as one, 11 people checking their box, 11 people knowing that they can't be great without the greatness of others.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks.